This is Disneyland News Today. I'm Tom Koros, and here now are the top Disneyland resort stories for June 29, 2023. Although I do have a quick programming update to give you here at the top of the show. If you guys watched News Today with WDW News Today yesterday, you already know this, but I want to make sure that the Disneyland News Today viewers have some idea what's going on. So you may remember several months ago, we broke this show out into its own show. The Disneyland Resort News used to be part of that show, and we broke this out and started doing our own weekly Disneyland Resort only news show. And it's been an experiment for a while, and honestly, after doing the experiment for a while, we've based on what some people have told us, some advice we've been given, various things. It's been decided that at least for a couple of months, what we're going to do is we're going to fold this news back into News Today with WDW News Today. So that show will once again include all the news from Disney parks around the world. And that will now only happen twice a week. That'll be released on Mondays and what has been the release day for this show on Thursday. So Mondays and Thursdays, we'll have 2 news shows a week. They will both be slightly longer. Of course, if you want just individually your Disneyland Resort news, the show is broken down into sections. We go resort by resort, starting at Walt Disney World. Second in that order will be Disneyland Resort in California. And so you'll still be able to get all that news, and in fact be able to get it more often every week from that program. So that covers all 6 Disney resorts around the world, as well as Disney Cruise Line. And again, it'll be twice a week. I know there's some of you that are going to say, I like that it was separated. I completely understand that. But in an effort to, the YouTube algorithm is a thing we are constantly fighting. I'm sure every channel you subscribe to will tell you something similar. And we've been told that it's best to have less video releases per week. So in an effort to do that, we're going to be cutting back to 2. So we're not cutting down the amount of content. They will just be 2 longer news shows every week that cover all the Disney properties all around the world on Monday and Thursday. But still feel free to give us feedback, any you might have, down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And again, we're going to be doing this at least for a couple months. We're going to see how it goes and assess the situation. And maybe this will come back as its own show. Maybe it won't. We'll have to wait and see how things go. But please let us know how you feel. Now on to the news. Indiana Jones will be making a limited time appearance at Disneyland in celebration of the newest film in the series, Dial of Destiny. Indy will start appearing on June 30th, and an end date has not yet been announced. The format of the appearance is also unknown. It may be a small show, maybe like the Nick Fury offering in Avengers Campus, a character sighting, or a traditional meet and greet. We'll find out on Friday. Stay tuned to the site and our social media accounts for the latest. After a very extended absence, the fog effects have returned to the lava pit. Guests cross in the Indiana Jones Adventure attraction as they escape the Temple of the Forbidden Eye at Disneyland. You can see a video right here. This happens at the part of the adventure where riders cross a bridge designed to seem exceptionally old and worn, adding to the drama and tension of the moment. This is, of course, this giant room that makes up a majority of the attraction. And in this case, this fog effect that sort of covers up these lava pit pieces that are lit from underneath, it hides the fact that it's not a lava pit, right? So with the fog being gone for the last 10 years or so, it's been very clear that it's not a lava pit. With the fog back, it definitely looks way more convincing. The scene looks as it's supposed to. And with this, for the most part, the ride is probably as functional as it's been since it opened in 1995. So this is a pretty big moment. Sticking with the Indiana Jones news, just a quick note that there will indeed be special Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny food available at the Bengal Barbecue just across the way, beginning on June 30th as well. We'll have a review of all that at DisneylandNewsToday.com on Friday. A woman was arrested last week after sneaking into the Disneyland park and hiding around Big Thunder Mountain Railroad to avoid capture. A TikTok posted by user Magically McKenna captures police and security activity around Big Thunder in Disneyland. McKenna's text on the video reads, quote, POV, lady who jumped the fence to get into the park tries to hide in Big Thunder and gets arrested, while video caption reads, according to CMs, this is a day 2 of this lady breaking in. Whether or not the woman did sneak in 2 days in a row has not been confirmed, but the incident that led to her arrest was on June 17th. At about 7 p.m., she jumped over an entrance turnstile without purchasing a ticket. She then attempted to hide on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, the Anaheim Police Department confirmed. Quote, officers assisted security and arrested the woman without incident on Big Thunder Mountain Trail, an APD spokesperson said. Disneyland is pressing charges. The woman has been charged with the misdemeanor of defrauding an innkeeper, according to San Francisco Gate and KTLA News. As the case progresses, it'll be handled by the Anaheim City Attorney's Office. If convicted, the woman could serve up to 6 months in county jail and pay a fine of up to $1,000 plus the cost of a Disneyland ticket, which could be about $179. I'm waiting in the comments for someone to joke that the cost of a Disneyland ticket is $1,000. Waiting for that. I'm sure it's gonna happen. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. The best part is their concierge services are 100% free. Head on over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT, and the team will design your next magical vacation, from the Disneyland and Walt Disney World resorts to the Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. Jamie Lee Curtis, Owen Wilson, and LaKeith Stanfield visited Disneyland to promote the upcoming Haunted Mansion movie, dressing up in cast member attire specific to the attraction. Jamie Lee Curtis, who portrays Madame Leota in the film, shared photos and video on Instagram of her hanging out with Wilson and Stanfield on the 21 Royal balcony. Curtis even interacted with fans down below, declaring what she also wrote in her Instagram caption, "Big hair, don't care, big scares, beware." The three actors also dressed up in Haunted Mansion cast member costumes, as seen in photos shared by Magical Soul Foodie on Instagram. Curtis wore the iconic green striped maid uniform, while Wilson and Stanfield wore green and purple butler tuxedos. Presumably, a full video of the actors' visit will be released by Disney soon to promote the film. Wilson, who portrays a priest named Kent, and Stanfield portrays a failed paranormal expert in the newest Haunted Mansion movie. Work on replacing all the artificial turf throughout Mickey's Toontown continues at Disneyland, as construction walls have moved to the area in front of Mickey's house. The wood walls can be spotted in the land all the way from the left side of Good Boy Grocers. Upon closer inspection, it appears the AstroTurf area in front of Mickey's house is entirely encompassed by the walls. We previously reported that this green space refurbishment work was taking place throughout the land, with two other instances of repair preceding this one. These patches of grass are designed to be used as a place for guests to relax, enjoy a perfect picnic, or let the kids run around and burn off some steam during their Disneyland day. Characters also occasionally greet in these spaces. The benches that were located in front of Mickey's house appear to be included in the refurbishment area, or perhaps have been simply removed for the time being. Disneyland Resort officials have previously shared a statement to local media explaining that the green spaces in Toontown will be under progressive refurbishment through mid-July, and construction walls will be present in those areas while the work is being done. We also noticed new construction walls directly right in front of the exit of Mickey's house. This area was previously home to a popcorn cart, which is currently closed for refurbishment. A large black scrim hides about half of the sectioned off area. The rest of the construction is blocked by wooden construction walls. It's likely the popcorn cart will return once this refurbishment is complete. But this is a continuing thing. We've seen so much have to be redone since Toontown opened back in March, that the project was clearly not done, and a lot of things need to be redone at this point as well. New Shimmering, Disneyland, and California Adventure Starbucks tumblers have arrived at the Disneyland Resort. We found both in the World of Disney store at the Downtown Disney District, and the Disneyland one also in the Market House Starbucks inside the park. They are behind the counter at Downtown Disney, along with the Disney Park Starbucks Coffee House collection and the studded silver Starbucks tumbler. The California Adventure tumbler is $39.99. It's golden in color, and a ring of park icons, including the Carthay Circle restaurant, Baby Groot, Lightning McQueen, and Pixar Pal Around is on one side, and the Disney California Adventure logo is in the center. And both of the tumblers obviously feature Mickey Mouse. Starbucks logo is debossed on the other side, and the lid is sparkling gold, and the straw is translucent. Meanwhile, the Disneyland tumbler is $39.99. It's a shimmering pink purple with the designs in darker purple. The wreath of icons includes the It's a Small World clock, Sleeping Beauty Castle, the Matterhorn, an X-Wing flying over Batuu, and the Hatbox Ghost. Flowers are mixed in with the design as well. And Disneyland is in the center of the wreath, and the lid is a darker, sparkling purple. And just like the other cup, the Starbucks logo is debossed on the opposite side. In a notice to cast members at the Disneyland Resort, it's been announced that the Pacific Wharf Bridge will not be accessible beginning June 26th as the area continues its transformation to San Fransokyo Square. As part of the Pacific Wharf reimagining into Big Hero 6's San Fransokyo, the bridge will be inaccessible again starting the 26th as it turns into the San Fransokyo Gate Bridge. Construction is anticipated to last a few weeks with no walkway access available. During the bridge's temporary closure, guests can still access Pacific Wharf dining locations using the walkway by Ghirardelli or as well the entrance of Carsland. After the recent closure of the former bridge, construction has begun and has gone vertical on that San Fransokyo Gate Bridge. In fact, as of today, now all 4 pillars are standing tall above the bridge. So they have wasted no time. Sometime this summer, this is going to be done. No exact date has been released just yet, though. Meanwhile, much of the scaffolding and scrim in Pacific Wharf at DCA has come down, revealing new elements of San Fransokyo Square. The Disney California Adventure Miniland is remaining open as it's turned into that new offering. These construction walls with themed signage are still up in a few areas, though. Of course, we already showed you the Baymax theming outside of the restrooms. The construction signs often mention the San Fransokyo Square Public Works Department. Lucky Fortune Cookery will remain after the retheme is complete with some new menu offerings. Some scaffolding and scrim is atop Pacific Wharf Café, which will become Aunt Cass Cafe, as seen in the concept art. An ad on the side of this facade now reads Salt and Sea Packing Co. The Pacific Wharf Cafe sign is still up, though. Aunt Cass Cafe is the second bakery cafe operated by Hero's aunt in the backstory, and will serve soups and freshly baked Boudin sourdough bread bowls and more inspired by Japanese cuisine. Japanese characters have been added to many of the signs and murals. There's an arrow with Japanese characters under a painted Boudin Bakery Tour sign and more above this awning. At the top of this building is an advertisement for WindCinch, a clean technology company. And there are blue koi fish balloons painted on the facade. Next door is an ad for Rita's Turbine Blenders. It'll be a giant drink dispenser offering margaritas and icy beverages. The refreshment stand will be at the corner of Pacific Wharf, as seen in this recently released concept art. It's owned by and named after the repair technician who maintains the floating wind turbine, resembling a giant koi fish, which will sit atop the structure. On the other side of the overhead bridge is the San Fransokyo Tribune offices, and there are more Japanese characters on the front of the Boudin Bakery Tour building. Ghirardelli Soda Fountain and Chocolate Shop will remain, but will have new themed menu items, and Cocina Cucamonga will also have new menu items too. A backstage door has lettering around it saying it's for overnight deliveries by appointment only. Contact Don and Roy. Of course, Don Hall was one of the directors of Big Hero 6 along with Chris Williams. Roy Conley was the producer. The back of the Wharfside Travel Agency, featuring the silhouette of a flying Baymax, is also visible here, and the front faces the wharf. Construction walls are around part of the Cocina Cucamonga Mexican Grill, and the Pacific Wharf Bridge, of course, was recently painted that orange. As we just told you, they've got the posts up now, the 4 posts that'll make up the gate bridge. And across the bridge, scrim covers the facade of Embarcadero Gifts. The gift shop remains open. It wasn't clear if this is going to be part of the land or not. This is a little far away, this San Francisco area that's across the water, but maybe it's going to. The fact that walls are up leads us to believe it's going to be some part of it. One of the new mural ads on the side is for the Port of San Fransokyo Cerveceria, which will open in mid-July. The transformation is scheduled to be completed by mid-August, but again, no exact date just yet. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all of our WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. Rogers the Musical is coming to California Adventure on Friday, and a sneak peek behind the scenes look has been released. The behind-the-scenes video gave a peek into rehearsals for the actors, dancers, singers, musicians, sound crew, and more. It also gave a preview of several of the sets. A version of the set you're looking at now also featured a Milwaukee, Wisconsin postcard. This is most likely for the Star-Spangled Man sequence. The bridge set from the Rogers the Musical scenes in Hawkeye on Disney Plus was also previewed. Another set we saw was the USO Hall, and several shots showcased the performers hard at work in rehearsal, including an actor holding the iconic Captain America shield. A costume preview revealed a dark motorcycle jacket with silver striping, reminiscent of a jacket worn by Steve Rogers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Howard Stark's lab, where Steve received the super soldier serum, will also be included. Rogers the Musical will be performed several times a day, going through August 31st in the Hyperion Theater. You can watch the behind-the-scenes footage on our website. It begins, of course, again, on June 30th. Stay tuned. We'll have lots of coverage for you on the website. We stopped by the downtown Disney district recently to get a look at the demolition of the Uva Bar and Cafe as work begins on its replacement. Construction walls surround the demolition site with advertisements for the new Mexican restaurant Paseo en Centrico from Michelin star chef Carlos Gaytán. A quote from Gaytán on the worksite wall states, quote, "There's a Mexico that very few other parts of the world know. It is my purpose to share it with them through my food." The umbrellas that were outside the entrance have finally been removed. Meanwhile, looking in the second story construction, you can see a wall with "Save Wall" spray painted on it. This is making the demolition crews aware that this wall will be kept. Looking down in the construction zone, you can see an excavator and 2 large industrial dumpsters. Concept art for the new addition, Paseo en Centrico, is available here. You're seeing it now. The demolition of Uva Bar and Café is not the only change happening at Downtown Disney right now. The new Jazz Kitchen signage has been installed. Sprinkles Cupcakes closed permanently last month. Some of the construction fencing surrounding the monorail station has been removed, and much more happening as the project continues, set to be completed by Thanksgiving of next year, supposedly. For the absolute latest Disneyland news, head on over to DisneylandNewsToday.com and follow us on your favorite social media platforms. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, click the bell for notifications, and hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. For DLNT, this is Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
This is Disney Entertainment News Today. I'm Rob Whiteside, and here now are the top Disney entertainment stories.
For the latest in Disney entertainment news, watch Disney Entertainment News Today, hosted by Rob Whiteside. From movies and series news to stage shows, books, video games, and more. New episodes drop every Tuesday on WDWNT.TV.